lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Hi everyone, I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop. And as I promised a few days ago, this video is called This and That. Now, that's just what it is. A little bit of this, and a little bit of that. I'm going to give you some updates on some things that I've shown you in previous thrift hauls. I've got some folks to thank for some delightful things that came in the mail over the last few days. I'm going to answer a few questions and show you a few items that I've learned a little more about, in many cases because you've helped me out in that. But first, you would be very annoyed with me, some of you, if we did not do today's cup of coffee. So here it is. Now, it's not depression glass, but I know at least 3 fellow YouTubers who are also thrifters. You recognize this right away. Now, I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. I'll do that in the next video. But you can put your guesses below. I'm not sure if you can tell, it's kind of a robin's egg blue, and it is American dinnerware. Probably made in the late 30s into the 40s in California. Hint, hint. But I've got to do today's ginger snap. Hold on. Don't take a nosedive into my coffee. There we go. Isn't that rude? I'm not a heathen. My mother did teach me not to speak with my mouth full, and I'm doing it anyway. You'll forgive me, I hope. Okay, we're going to get this party started with this guy right here. Now, I showed this to you several weeks ago in a thrift haul, and different folks wrote in and said, oh, I think the top doesn't match the bottom. I've got one similar to that, but my top is different or my bottom is different. Maybe these are mixed up. Well, these were produced for a very long time, from the 30s into the 60s. In fact, if you saw a video I did a few weeks ago, maybe a week ago, when I went into the kitchen and in my mother's house so you could see her original 1964 Pyrex, some of you noticed that on the shelf right next to it was a nut grinder like this, but in 60s colors. So yeah, they made these for a long time, and I think this top and bottom go together. So I'm going to show you some photographs right now, I think, if I can make myself small. There I am. But that one is more of a 1950s, 60s shape. You can kind of see from the design as well. But now clearly we're getting into the ones made in the 30s or 40s. And that one's probably 40s because it's red. It has the same bottom as this one and a similar top. The wooden handle is different, but it also has a decal on it and very similar. Now this one is marked Hazel Atlas. There's another one. Now that's the one that would date from the 50s to the 60s. And it has a different base, glass base to it. That's the one my mother has, except instead of yellow starbursts, hers are blue. And then that's the same one I've got right here. That one's very dirty. This one is a lot cleaner than that. But it's the same Hazel Atlas nut grinder with the decal on it. Even the decal is a little bit of a different color. There's another one. You never thought that there would be so many. And then we're back to that guy again. There's one with sort of the Art Deco daffodils. And I can't remember, but several companies put that sort of Art Deco daffodil decal on their glass, on kitchen canisters, on dinnerware. And again, you can see same shape. And there's another one. Okay, I think that's the end of it. It's going to be the end of it anyway. So it is possible that these can be split up and the base get matched to a different top. And when we think of glass containers, we think of Anchor Hocking and Hazel Atlas. Probably Hazel Atlas made more glass containers. They made, and you'll see the HA underneath, which Anchor Hocking did not ever mark their things with an H and an A. I think most of you know when you see the H and the A that it's Hazel Atlas. Yeah. So anyway, just wanted to point that out, that you'll find these sometimes with tops that are different from the base. So now I have to, let's do this first. Thank you to Mike, who was watching when I said, I have 11 cups, I'm missing one. Mike had an extra one. Mike has like 50 of these. Mike has been collecting glass for a long time, and he said, I've got one, I'll send it to you. Didn't charge me anything. Just put it in the mail, and here it is. So, Mike, thank you. I now have a set of 12 Anchor Hocking Forest Green punch cups, all ready for eggnog and next Christmas. So I totally appreciate that that came in the mail this week. Also in the mail this week, oh my gosh, actually the punch cup came last week. Now I have a little cheat sheet over here which you can't see. That was Mike, the green punch cup. Rick wrote to me and he said, I have a little something I want to send you. It's not much. Rick, this is right up my street. And everybody say it with me. I almost got detached retina when I saw it. He sent me 2 of these magazines. Now, one of them I can't show it to you because I'll tell you why in a minute. Here's one. These are the Paramount Salesman wholesale only electrical supply catalogs. This is the fall and winter of 1931-32, and the other one that Rick sent was also 1931, I think. These are fantastic. Rick, thank you so much. The reason I can't show you the other one is I haven't looked through this one yet. I looked through the other one, but they're so brittle. It was very cheap paper. These were not meant to last 80 years or however many years it's been since 1930. 90 years. The paper is extremely acidic and brittle. So just turning the page, just the act of turning the pages without even pulling them apart, but having it supported on a table, just separated them. These are crumbling. Now, I'm not complaining. I am so grateful that you saved these. This is a wonderful reference for me because there are electric fans and clocks and typewriters and vacuum cleaners and irons and waffle irons and bridge lamps and Victrolas and radios. All kinds of things in here that I'm able to do research on. I study these like textbooks. Wow, this is great. So I really can't show you much of it because it will just all fall apart. Well, I know you want to see some of it. I don't know if this is coming up backwards or not. Let me just hold it still for you to see a little bit of it. And maybe I'll attempt. I'll tell you what I'm going to try to, or what I'm probably going to do with these in order to preserve them. No, I don't even want to hold it up because it will literally, the pieces just, if you could see my lap, they're little paper pieces. What I'm going to probably have to do, and you know, you can suggest other things, but, and I welcome your suggestions. What I think I'll do, I have a bunch of these. These are old too. These are 1930s antique notebook covers. This one has a collection of matchbook covers in it. See, from the 20s and 30s. But what I'm probably going to have to do is, because these pages are going to all crumble and fall apart, I'm probably going to have to take each page and put it in a binder like this so that I can safely preserve it, look at it. You cannot put masking tape on this. I mean, it's just way too brittle. I just want to keep it safe so that I can look at it frequently without ripping it apart. So, Rick, I hope you don't mind. That's probably what I'm going to have to do because in the state that they're in, and Rick already knows this, just looking at them makes them crumble. But I was so excited. I mean, I just devoured the first one, and I'm going to get hours and hours and hours out of that. That helps me to better date certain items from the very early years of the Depression era. So thank you so much. Now coming up is Susan and some pictures of her kitchen and a mug that she purchased. Ready? Hold on. And now we are going to have a peek into someone else's kitchen because I asked Susan and she gave me permission so to do. Susan purchased a mug and a few weeks ago and sent me the photograph. So here it is. We're now in Susan's kitchen. I think is she in Cape May, New Jersey? I think she's either in Florida or Cape May, New Jersey. I think she's in Cape May, New Jersey. But I might have that wrong. So pardon, Susan. But let's zoom in. I hope you dusted, Susan. Now, you told me I could do this. You didn't know we were going to zoom in. Here is Susan's kitchen. Susan, you've got some good jadeite. These are those de-handled mugs right here. I don't know, what is that, Susan? Is that molasses or is that your drippings, bacon drippings? She's mortified right now that we're zooming in on her kitchen. Anyway, there's the mug right there with the rose on the front of it. I think it was for the month of June, right? All right, let's see another one. So here it is again, Susan's kitchen. We'll zoom in. There's the mug, and I think I'm sitting on top of a piece of get me out of the way. Move. Well, put me in the toaster or whatever that thing is. She's got a nice Pyrex over there, refrigerator dish. This is fun. Anyway, there's the mug, and she is a fan of ginger snaps as well. You go, Susan. Okay, isn't that kind of fun? I really like seeing how you live with the items, and so I thought that was just kind of fun to show you. Now, let me shrink myself again, and this time, is anybody still watching? Oh, go back to the thrift hauls. Okay, I will. I promise the next video is a thrift haul. Okay, this. Now let's Pam and George? Yes, Pam and George. You saw me show you this a couple weeks ago. I was excited to find it. I knew it was a Sunbeam coffee pot. There's nothing in it. So I just assumed that it was a carafe. I knew it came with other accoutrements such as cream and sugar and a hot plate to sit it on. Since I purchased the coffee pot, I was then able to get the matching cream and sugar. This is just fantastic. For those of you who are fans of mystery, can never say that, Poirot, Miss Lemon would totally approve of just how Art Deco these are. I can just see Captain Hastings right now pouring coffee out for Mr. Poirot. Anyway, Sunbeam, now I've got the cream and sugar to match the coffee pot. I never knew that there was a drippolator attachment to this until Pam and George watching sent me a photograph, and here it is. Way cool. Let's blow that up a little bit and get me out of the way. I know it gets a little blurry when I blow it up. So there it is. There's the pot. You can see the cream and the sugar. And then I knew there was a warmer, which you can see with the electric cord. But I just assumed that you made the coffee on the stove, poured it in here, and the warmer kept it warm. But there's a drippolator attachment that sits on top, so you can actually brew your coffee right at the breakfast table in style. So, Pam and George, thanks for letting me know that that is the original way that was manufactured. And now I'm going to be on the lookout for not only the warmer, but also the drippolator top to go with this so I can complete the set and really have some coffee in style. What am I going to do with all this? All right. The next thing I'd like to show you is, I think, hold on folks. Okay. I'm moving myself around here so you can see. We also had some questions about, I gave you a good look at this when I purchased it a couple weeks ago. I did pay $10 for this at a flea market, and my intent was and still is to keep it. In my mind, I was really thinking that this was meant for home use and not industrial or commercial or anything like that. And that it could be really to slice anything. It's not really in the shape of an egg, and I don't know that people slice eggs. You could slice an egg, but I found an original advertisement. I did some digging and found an advertisement, and now this makes sense why it comes on this really nice plate. You can turn it and remove it, and then you have this nice depression green porcelain plate. And why is that? Well, if we see from the original advertisement, which is right here, I hope this, okay, there we go. And it says, every housewife can use to great advantage this Wales tomato slicer in the home. We can clearly see it. Blow it up a little bit. Oops, that was too much. I think it went out of the screen. Okay, so there it is in action, and it says, just insert the tomato as shown. This utensil of usefulness and beauty combined is truly a feat of kitchen craft. It is made in brilliant non-tarnishing chromium and is equipped with several quality stainless steel knives especially treated to do this magic work. Its beautiful base is characterized by a high-class colonial red china plate, which performs a dual service, a juice receptacle for whatever little juices may escape, as well as an inviting salad serving dish. This perfect slicer is also ideal for slicing many other vegetables and fruits. And there's the original price. Isn't it interesting that they refer to the plate as a colorful red china plate? Colorful, did I say colonial? I might have. Colorful red china plate. Well, obviously, not only did it come in colorful red china, it also came in that typical Depression green. So now you could, at Bridge Club, slice your tomatoes, or fruit, as the ad said, at the table, remove this, and serve your sliced tomatoes in style. So I learned something new about that. Okay. Also, let's see. You guys were just totally freaking out over this, or flipping out over this. Now, everybody said, oh, it's, well, not everybody. A few of you said, oh, it's Elsa Lanchester. I'm not sure about that. I suppose it could be. But this floating head I purchased for $1, and then the frame was just a couple of dollars. I'm keeping her for Halloween. Miss Stone Holmes suggested that she be, and some others, that she be part of a Halloween display. In fact, a lot of you said she should be part of a Halloween display, and you have named her Creepy Girl. Well, I'm going to recreate from Disney's Haunted Mansion the Madame Leota seance scene, and Miss Stone Holmes suggested I used that weird green cabbage thing, which was that Frank Art glass globe, in front of her as the seance ball. So she's coming back at Halloween. You haven't seen the last of Creepy Girl. That's an update you've all been waiting for. Now let me shrink myself again, because I also would like to now show you, hold on, very interesting advertisement for this little guy right here. Do you remember this? What's fascinating to me is from the Automobile Trade Journal of 1920-something. This is referred to as an ideal gift, an ever visible and lasting reminder of your thoughtfulness. The Moto Meter Company. So can you imagine giving someone a radiator temperature gauge as a Christmas gift? Woo! Well, I suppose it's useful, but that's what this is. It actually, this particular Model L, you see it. That's not coming up very well, is it? Probably not. It dates to the 20s. It's illuminated from the back. So this was probably mounted on the dashboard as opposed to the radiator cap. Some of them were a lot fancier than this, and they had glass or metal statues on the top for the radiator, but this is probably a dash mount because it's illuminated. And this would let you know if your engine was running too hot and your radiator was getting ready to overheat. And this, again, this dates, there's a date on it, there's some patents on it, 1916, 1918, so this is right around 1920. So I wanted to tell you a little bit more about that. Thank you to those of you who told me that this is indeed anchor hocking. Now I know the ruby red and the forest green are from the 50s. I'd never seen the blue before, but of course you can see same company, same maker. So anchor hocking apparently produced these in the 80s. It's much heavier, it's thicker glass, and it has that swirled pattern in it. And what I'm going to do with this is pair it with some other random cobalt bases and just do a cobalt base grouping and sell all of those together. I was surprised that all of you old kitchen ladies out there, now I'm not making fun of you. I love my old kitchen ladies. I thought you'd be all over this. One or two people said, yeah, I think it maybe is for canning. But this didn't really get any reaction out of you. I said I thought it had something to do with pulling cans out of the ball jars out of the sink. Not the sink, but when you're boiling, sanitizing them on your stove. And a few people said, yeah, that's what they thought it was, but nobody was really certain. So can someone actually verify? Yep, that's exactly what that is. Because I want to sell it, but I'd like to put in the description that that's exactly what it is. These little guys are up for sale. You heard the tune. Several people said Ave Maria, but there are many Ave Marias. There was only one person, and that was Karen Kondracki. Wasn't there a Mort Kondracki, who was on the McLaughlin group years ago? Are you related, Karen? I don't know. Karen was the one who knew it wasn't just Ave Maria, but it was the Gounod Ave Maria, and I hope that I'm doing the French pronunciation correctly. Charles Gounod, the French romantic composer. And he composed that to be sung, usually superimposed over a prelude by Bach. I don't know which one. Didn't he write like 1,000 preludes? Anyway, so Karen was the only one that knew that it was composed by Charles Gounod, the French romantic composer. Okay, we did that, we did that, we did that, we did that, we did that. We didn't do this. Geo! Geo, I want to thank you because you got me into doing some research into this guy. I need a break. Okay, Susan Kitchen Mug, Mike Green Punch Cup, Pam and George Deco Coffee, Geo, hold on Geo, Rick the Magazines, Karen the Melody. I know I'm forgetting some other people. Some of you are just so, many of you have helped me out. And you write in and you send me links. There were several of you that sent links about the Moto meter. I did not remember to call you by name, and I apologize. I really do read all of your comments and all of the links that you sent me, and I appreciate it so much because you help me learn. And so please don't feel neglected if you sent me a link or helped me out with an item in the past and I have just either forgotten. Sometimes I'll look at messages and then I can't find them again. Anyway, sometimes it's just hard for me to go back and find old messages to reply to. But you can always contact me by the email address that's underneath the description of most of my videos. All right, Geo, thank you, because Geo and I were going back and forth, and I so much appreciate you sharing information with me about lures and Beistel. When I saw this, I didn't attribute it to anybody. It really didn't bother me because I plan on keeping it and not selling it. And Geo and I were looking to try to figure out if they were Beistel or lures. L-U-H-R-S company. I did find out that this was marked Beistel, and guess where? The little tip of the moon, which on this one is broken off up here, is where the Beistel company had its name. And Geo sent me some pictures of an almost identical Halloween decoration made by the Lures company. And when we looked at the two side by side, we noticed that the moon on the Lures example has black, I think he has a black whiskers underneath his smile. He's got whiskers. And the cat, instead of having yellow eyes, there are green eyes. So there were some little differences between the Lures and the the one made by Beistel. I don't have a vintage Halloween collectible book, and I don't plan on selling these, as they're the ones that I bought to keep myself. But it's always fun to do research, and Geo was very helpful in getting me, sending some information to me and helping me find out a little bit more about the Lourdes Halloween decorations. So I need to take a minute or a second. Okay, now let me look here and see. Oh, speaking of creepy girl, what do you think about these two? Now, let's take votes. Is it brother and sister or husband and wife? Study their faces for a minute. I know it's difficult because there's quite a, I'm trying to get it so there's no glare. Maybe that helps. Look at that jawline, the mouth, the eyes. I'm kind of thinking brother and sister, but maybe husband and wife. Anyway, that's going to be a great Halloween decoration. You know, I shouldn't, if I showed you old pictures of my family, they look like they're straight out of a haunted house as well. So, and I know it's just the sternness of the way photographs were taken back in those days, but I thought this, I saw this at a flea market. The guy charged me $2 for it. I had to buy it. I like the way that it's tinted, the way they did the photographs in those days. And they're just really fierce looking. But what do you think? Husband and wife? Brother and sister? Could be. Either one, I guess. All right, did I cover everything? No, I didn't. Two more things. Thank you for holding on and watching for all this time. I promised you, I am going to really get busy and do all of my, I've been saving the Quoizel lampshades, art glass, those Egyptian Revival brass candlestick lamps. Remember I did an electric lighting special, I don't know, maybe a month ago. I've got all the photographs done, and I'm going to get all that electric lighting posted, including this. And I promised you, now I wired it directly into the outlet so that you can see Grandma's light fixture lit up. This is the Porcelain light fixture from about from the 30s, circa 1930. And this was in a thrift haul a few weeks back. And just absolutely, I don't ever say mint condition, but I can't imagine this surviving another example in any better condition than this. It almost looks factory new. And it's really going to be a great addition to somebody's 1930s kitchen. So I wanted you to be able to see that lit up. It might be more dramatic if it was nighttime, but there it is. When you receive it, I will take this electric cord off because it should be mounted on someone's ceiling. So that is going to be going up very quickly in the next 24 hours or so. And then I guess I should plug this in, but this one is going up for sale as well. This is that Czechoslovakian glass pendant chandelier from this dates to the Art Deco era of the 1930s as well, late 20s into the 30s. And this one is all photographed and set to go as well. So I can't wait to see what this thing does. I'd like to keep it, but hey, it's not a museum in here. I've said that before, and I just can't keep everything. I'm running a business. Okay, don't fall. Okay. I think that's it. I will end this very long video by once again saying thank you to new subscribers, old subscribers, to everyone who chimes in and adds to just the fun of this. you are invaluable, the information that you give me when you help me out with certain things that I just can't seem to figure out. And I appreciate you going to the old curiosity shop and poking around and seeing if there's anything in there that you'd like to purchase for your own collections. Happy selling if you're sellers, happy thrifting if you're thrifters, happy collecting if you are collectors. And as always, this is Scott from the old curiosity shop saying thanks for watching and so long for now. Now let me finish this before it gets absolutely ice cold. Not going to happen. We're in the last day of a heat wave here. I cannot wait for October.